OMD-DEX300. It is Friday, December the 2nd, 2022, and I'm coming to you live from the San Fernando Valley Studios. Once again, thank you again for being down with your boy. You are now down with the plan. We're trying to do what we can, you feel me? Today's show, we're going to talk about a few things. One thing that I just found out, which is astonishing me, and I got to commend Governor Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, for doing this undertaking that he's doing for black people in the state of California, which I think should be reciprocated in every state, which I know it's not going to be, but I think it should be reciprocated in every state. From what I understand, Governor Gavin Newsom has enacted reparations payments, which looks like it may actually go through, of over $200,000, $230-something odd thousand, to every black resident in the state of California as reparations for slavery. When I heard this, I was stunned and shocked. A little bit surprised, and now I'm wondering what kind of opposition, what kind of resistance from other citizens of the state of California there's going to be. I know this is going to be something big when it comes to people's reactions that are not black people or not African American descent in this state. To be honest with you, I think it's going to be one of the most amazing things for certain people who are in the right frame of mind to receive a bountiful amount of money like that, to take it and do something extraordinary with it. And then there's some who are going to take it and just blow it and do crazy things with it. We already know that. But the simple fact that there actually is a plan of this magnitude, that a white man, a governor who is a white man, now he didn't have to do this. I don't know if there was someone in his ear that's black, as far as politicians that are on at the state capitol in California up north, that is in his ear, other senators, other congressmen, or whatever. But the fact that he would even undertake such a large issue, which is he's gonna have some of the most horrific resistance to this idea, probably than any other politician in the country. And for him to do this, I want to commend you, Governor Newsom. I want to commend you for the simple fact that, bro, if this passes, and let me start by saying this to everybody who's listening. I see I have one person on the live now. This amount of money that they're suggesting is not crazy life-changing. It's a lot of money, and a lot of people are going to benefit from it if it goes through and it actually gets into the hands of black people, the black Americans, black Californians, I should say. And it's going to be pretty wild. But there's a lot of people who are going to take that money and not do too much of anything with it. You know, they're going to do stuff with it now, don't get me wrong. But, you know, whether that's the right thing to do with it is another thing. So, with that said, I hope it actually goes through. I hope it happens. It's been talked about on YouTube, on other platforms, and it's been mentioned on the radio and all that. So this is not nothing new. Maybe you haven't heard about it and you're probably hearing it for the first time from me. Then again, maybe you have heard about it and you probably don't believe it's going to happen. Whatever your thoughts on it is, or are, I should say, is actually being talked about. And it actually might actually go into effect. So it's pretty wild as far as I'm concerned that this is actually being even spoken of and considered. And if it actually goes through, people in their right mind, black people in their right mind, in their right state of being, in their right, how should I put this, in their right thought process on what they need to do with the money. It's going to benefit quite a few families, quite a few children of those families that are probably trying to go to school, which are still pushing. I'm not a huge proponent of going to college. I think it's a ripoff. Yeah, there's a lot of people who will graduate from college and get degrees and go on and do big things, but I know people with master's degrees that are managers at Walmart and Burger King. And somebody actually said to me one time, why do I keep saying that? Because even if they are just working at Walmart or Burger King, they're working. Nah, I don't think you go to 4 years of college and maybe 6 or 7 years of college to get your master's to become a customer service rep for Enterprise Car Rental or Walmart or being a manager at a Carl's Jr. You didn't do that for that. You went there to learn whatever skill or whatever they were teaching in that particular form that you went to college for, and you worked hard, you passed the test, you walked across that stage and you got that paperwork. But I think they've been selling us a dream when it comes to that. Going to college seems like to me is putting everybody in debt. And I'm talking debt to the point where they got people calling you on these robocalls or these sales calls talking about they're the debt relief organization or they're this organization, See, that's even more crazy because what they're trying to do is to get you to sign up with them. So they'll take that, they'll pay whoever you owe, and then you'll be paying them at a lower rate, maybe even a higher rate, who knows. The thing about America is it's about money. It's about making money here. It's always been about that. It ain't been about nothing else. The United States is a buy and sell country. I've been born here. I was raised here. There's no other place for us to run to unless you investigate and find out maybe you can get up out of here and go live somewhere else. But this is all we got, basically. It is. It's all we have. America's all we have. And until you look at things for what they are and understand where you live and understand, how they treat you because of the color of your skin, you'll be better off. If you know that, you're going to go out and you're going to grind as hard as you can for the simple fact that you need to live and exist. So to actually have a governor of a state, one of the richest states in the United States, in this union, California, he knows the money's there to give. It probably won't even amount up to $1 billion to give every black resident in the United States that 230 something. They've obviously done the numbers. They've done the numbers. They crunched the numbers. They know. And the thing about it is, that's the reason why, even though the census is BS to me, because I think they're counting people for different reasons, just than economic. I think they're counting us for a lot of other reasons. They want to know where you are and all that. But if the census meant anything, it would be a good thing about this because they know how many people they need to give those reparations to in this state. And I was counted. They kept sending me that census paperwork, especially since I'm a veteran. They was on my head. And I pushed away from it, and then I finally went on ahead and did it. Either way, the fact that this is even being talked about, being calculated, to me, is amazing. And I want to thank Governor Newsom. I know some black people are probably going to say, oh, that little bullshit handout. Hey, at least we getting something. We was promised 40 acres and a mule, which by today's standards economically is worth well millions of dollars. I'll just say that. It won't necessarily be a mule. It could be a pickup truck or something. But them 40 acres, depending on what state it is, could be worth millions. You never know what's under that ground. That's the reason why they didn't want to give black people that actual thing that they promised in the Emancipation Proclamation, because they knew black people would be able to generate generational wealth that way. And the funny thing is about black people in America is that through all the strife and boots on our necks and things that they've done to us, through actual slavery, Jim Crow, civil rights movement, the whole 9 yards, black people, a few, always still thrived. You know, like the Freedom Town and all these different towns that popped up that were destroyed, burned. People ran out, homeless, killing parents, to making kids foster children, and the whole thing. All they did when they did that is create more problems for the governments of whatever states those towns were in, instead of just letting those people thrive and letting the economy grow for that state. The jealousy of other races, I'm not just going to say whites, because I'm sure there was other races involved in that, because they wasn't getting judged or dogged like that. So, you know, they wanted to get out with whoever was in power. So, and I don't want my pod to always be just about these things, but these are the fucking things that are going on in the world. What else we gonna talk about? We could talk about a lot of stuff. We could talk about comedy, movies, all that. And then what? We need to talk about the civility between people in this world, which I think is never going to actually be any civil. Yeah, people going to be cool, and you know, I know black people right now. I got white friends and all that. Of course, everybody knows somebody that ain't their race, that's all right, and that's decent enough person that, you know, you could actually consider them a friend. And I don't know if they'll take a bullet for you or something like that, but you never know. But yeah, we know people like that. We know white people that are appalled by racism, or appalled by their family histories if they had slaves and all of these things. And I'm sure there are people out there who have moral compass and know that shit was garbage. But in hindsight, majority of the people, you don't know what their intentions are. You know, in other words, you couldn't, you know, trust them as far as you could pick them up and throw them. Now, I'll segue after saying that into something that really bothered me, because I'm a fan of this football team. The Dallas Cowboys owner, Jerry Jones, who's in his late 80s, there's a picture that surfaced of him being at a rally to stop the segregation of a school. I think it was Arkansas. That's where he's from. I know he went to the University of Arkansas. I don't know if he's an actual Texan, but I think he's an Arkansasian, if that's what they call themselves down there. And he was there at that rally with all the rest of the teenage white boys. And I'm gonna say something about that actual picture. If you notice, all of those kids that was in that picture, I don't know if they went to that school. I'm pretty sure they probably were students of that school. But if you notice, there wasn't a lot of those kids' parents there, because they didn't want their faces shown, I'm pretty sure. But they sent their kids to do this cowardly act of trying to block, ridicule, spit, cuss, and denigrate the black kids who were trying to go to school in the same schools as they were. And they had so much time on their hands other than going to class that they could do that, just like all the time people have on their hands to go to Trump rallies from state to state. If you notice, you're starting to see at those rallies the same people, and they're all over the country. People are taking RVs just to follow Trump. Why are you guys not at work? So that means either most of you guys are retired and you living in the past anyway, because you old as hell, and you're not, you know, you probably, if you look at any of those people that they be talking to, any of those people, a lot of them are old, 50 and up, 40, 45 and up. Some of them probably still working, but they taking off days to go to these rallies just to say how much they love Trump and how much they love his ideals. And they want to go back to a day when they felt comfortable in their skin here. So the fact of the matter is, them seeing a black girl twerking, or Nicki Minaj, or Cardi B talking at an award show, or Jim Parsons from the Bang Theory do a movie. He's got a new movie out where he's in, it's a gay relationship with him. It's a love story with two men, which they've had. But they didn't say nothing about Brokeback Mountain. Those are two cowboys. There was rough riders, going out and catching cows and tying up steers' legs and shit, man. Look, you know how they do, man. Out there got here with bull riding, man. I'm gonna get me some motherfucking horses out here, man. You got some stallions out here. They didn't say nothing about that. I'm sure there's some people that made jokes about it, but in hindsight, most of those people that are down in the Bible Belt or down south was like tickled pink when that movie came out. Plus, it was Jake Gyllenhaal and Heath Ledger, wearing cowboy boots and jeans, having sex in a tent in the middle of goddamn prairie, man. I ain't mad at the movie. I'm not mad at the subject matter or nothing. But it's just funny how they pick and choose what to be pissed off about. That's why I got to give LeBron James his props for calling out the fact that they would dog the shit out of us whenever any star of sports, film, whatever, do something wrong and you black. They're gonna talk about that day after day after day after day after day to make us look bad in every aspect. But as soon as Brett Favre, as soon as Jerry Jones, as soon as any one of these guys out there that's not black, that's white, they'll talk about that for 2 shows, or they'll mention that news story a couple times and it disappeared. Brett Favre stole millions from poor people in his own damn state. And they mentioned it a few times. He needs to be in jail. Or at least on 10, 15-year probation, which I'm sure he's going to end up just getting probation and a slap on the wrist, if anything. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. It don't matter how powerful you are. It don't matter how fast you dance. It don't matter how great your songs are. If you are black in this country, you are 2 seconds away from being a martyr. And I don't know about martyrdom. Let me change that. You're 2 seconds away from being marred, which is a big difference. You're 2 seconds away from them and trying to take everything away from you, i.e. Kanye West, who has lost his ever-loving mind. Kanye is bipolar, y'all. Always has been. I'm sure he's supposed to be taking medication. And one of the meds that he sorely misses is his mother by his side, who used to calm him down and bring him down off of his weirdness and mellow him out by talking to him. That was some of his medicine that he had before she passed. I hate talking about people's parents or people's, people. But that's one particular lady, God rest her soul, that, could really help that boy. And it's sad that he has to go and because he has money and he feels like the only way for him to keep that money and control what he has, which he's lost a lot by saying the things he said, is to side with people he knows. Well, I don't know if he does know this, but side with people that wouldn't mind seeing him swing from a tree. And the only reason they even show you any love or respect is because you've accomplished a lot financially. It's facts, man. There's nothing I'm saying that ain't true. On this pod, I try my damnedest to keep it 100. Not just, my personal opinions are not too far from, the idealism of what is going on in every situation I speak of. So, I feel very confident and what I be talking about when it comes to, articulating how I feel about certain subjects. I am no longer a Dallas Cowboy fan. Now, but just they suck. I mean, I don't care how good they are and how much they winning. I respect every player on that team for doing what they got to do to make their money and do their job and be professional, because the word professional on sports means exactly what it means, that you're a professional. You come to work every day. The NBA, the word professional needs to be taken away from that, because these guys stay hurt now. I ain't never seen a group of men so soft in my life. Magic Johnson and them used to play on damn near broke ass legs, and they used to be getting 60-70% less money to play for the game that they passionate about. These guys today, these millennials, Gen X motherfuckers getting born, are just soft, man. They are, bro. You getting 250, you getting like $250 million to sit your ass on the bench. I got tendonitis. Tendonitis? Nigga, that was some shit of culture. They'll fucking release your ass back in the 80s and 90s if you talking about you had tendonitis and you couldn't fucking play. And get your ass out of here. Go to the Euro League and say that bullshit when the Euro League wasn't paying nobody nothing. They done forced the Dwight Howard ass to go to goddamn Taiwan to play and then talk shit about him that he's over there. Shaquille O'Neal talking shit about him. And Shaq, my dude, too. He do a lot of cool ass shit, but he be cooning his ass off, too. Cooning. You do, man. You don't want to lose none of them endorsements, Papa John's, your stores. You don't want people to not like you. I get it. He has an innate want for people to like him. He's a big fun dude, like, he love the kids and all that. But he also loved law enforcement. I'm ex-military, just like your stepdad, Phil. Phil was way better soldier than I ever could be. I'm what you call one of them dudes that was a reluctant soldier. Not saying that I wouldn't have went out there and did my duty if the bullets start flying. I'm not trying to die, and I'm not trying to let none of my soldiers that's with me, some of my boys die. So yeah, I'll be putting down the enemy just like I should until they put me down. But there's a lot of racism went on in that military. Them motherfuckers is some straight bitches. Some of them in there. Some of them, a lot of them in there. The thing that bothers me is when you look at the white race, Asians, Hispanics, it's like their stew is all they people, all their ingredients in there, and everything they like in there is all, like if it's a white stew, it's white people in there. All different types of whites, Italians, Germans, they all together, they stewed up. Same thing with the Latinos. Yeah, they have their little beefs in and out. And same thing with whites. White Boston person will call an Italian a dago. The Italian will call them the Irish shit pig or whatever little terms they use. But when it all comes down to the color of their skin, they're going to do this. Same thing with the Latinos. Dudes from Guatemala, El Salvador, Mexico, yeah, they talk shit about each other. Hell, that's why the MS-13 gang was created, because they was getting dogged by other Spanish cultures in America. But when the chips go down and they start attacking Latinos as a whole, watch them all do this. They're going to click up. Blacks? Nah. The most extraordinary gift I could have ever received was to see the Hebrew Israelites surround the Barclays Center for Kyrie Irving. It was thousands of them. I don't know how many, but it was thousands of them marching like straight beasts. And another thing also, when they was sending people to kind of suppress the voting down south in certain areas, the Black Panther Party went down there strapped to the T with over 5,000 soldiers wearing all black with guns and everything, because they heard all these country son bitches when they be putting up in trucks and ARs and stuff trying to intimidate people from voting. They was like, not on my motherfucking watch, you ain't gonna do that shit. People gonna vote. And let me tell you something about the voting. It obviously means something if people were willing to do all that, but I think it's all That's all bullshit and propaganda. And they got us all thinking that's such a big deal. And people getting shot and fucked up behind it. And intimidated behind voting. But then you do all that voting, you're waiting in them lines, and people get voted in, and they do absolutely nothing with those people getting voted in. The Senate still, like when I said this before, when Warnock originally got voted in as a senator, they said we had the majority, and they was gonna get so much stuff done and for the people. Don't let them fool you. Oh, da 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 da. As quoting Bob Marley. This world is ass backwards. It's not fair. It's not functional. And it could give a fuck if you live or die. You have to take care of you. You got to take care of the people who ain't ready to take care of themselves, i.e. your children. It's all up to you. You're not going to win if you ain't playing the game and know all the rules. I don't know no black person that play any games, spades, basketball, dominoes. I don't give a fuck. I don't know nobody that don't play no games and don't know all the rules. You're gonna fucking lose. Look at things for what they are. Look at things for how obvious they are. It's obvious that we're hated here. Are we hated here because we black? I don't think so. Because in the slave days, they had black women letting the white babies suck their fucking titties. How you gonna hate somebody you call a monkey, but you wanna have sex with them? What does that make you? Nah, they don't hate us. They wanna suppress and dominate and feel above or feel better than. That's all that's about. It's all psychological fucking warfare. Always has been, always will be. The reason why we are hated here now is because we have a certain amount of freedom. And let me tell you something about the that a lot of people don't know. And the black people, you are going to freak out when you hear this. The Emancipation Proclamation did not free the slaves. It did. It gave you some freedoms, but it changed ownership from the southern slave owners to the United States government. You are now, just like I was when I was in the military. They call you GI, which means general issue or something to that effect. That's what GI stands for. Your government issue. My apologies. I don't know why that escaped my mind, but yeah, it's called government issue. When they swear your ass in 3 times into the service, you become property of the United States government. Just like a rifle, the fucking shovel in your TA-50, your rucksack, your fucking canteen, that fucking metal cup that you eat all your food out of when you're in the field. You are just like that. And when you die, it's just like you broke your fucking gun or you lost your fucking uniform. We are still not free here. This is the reason why police can do what the fuck they want to us. This is the reason why I love Dave Chappelle. He had a joke that he did at the Fillmore Theater in San Francisco. He said black people wouldn't make good bargaining chips for terrorists. A terrorist would call a government and say, I have 5 black, hello? They would hang up. They don't give a fuck about your life. You gotta give a damn about your life. You have to give a damn about your mother's lives, your children's lives, your cousins, your sisters, your brothers. Grind. Get what you... There's black people winning here. Yeah, they let them through the holes, and there's black people who ain't no fucking entertainers. There's going out there, buying up property. I just saw, I don't know, hey, like Slim, how you doing? I just saw a news report in New Jersey of the mayor of whatever this town was in New Jersey. I can't think of it to save my life. I don't know if it was Camden. I should have had something to written down about that. But I did see the story where they're giving houses to black people and underprivileged people, not just blacks, but underprivileged. A lot of them were black. This one woman said, "I thought I'd never own a home. I was a foster child growing up, but now I have my own home. It's a beautiful place. Only $100-some thousand. New appliances, new everything. It was beautiful." So there's people out there that's black doing amazing things despite having everything in the world against you in this country. They don't want you to fucking win. They don't. And one of the cool things about that, even though it's not cool at all, is that other races are starting to see the shit that we've been going through and continue to go through, and they have sympathy. So there are some people out there with some fucking good hearts that are not black people that want to see you win. Hell, some of them even marrying blacks for the simple fact that they hearts is. I wouldn't want nobody to marry me just because you feel bad about the things that have been done to black people. Don't fall in love with me because of that bullshit. Fall in love with me because of the integrity I have in my heart, to who I am, the person I am. You know, I would want someone to love me for those reasons. But to be honest with you, mixed couples, which is what really moving all this political bullshit, is every commercial you look at is a mixed couple. And what they're trying to say in these commercials, somebody was trying to tell me, is that's the wave of the future. It's inevitable that we're going to start mixing. It's inevitable that we've been mixing. It's more prevalent on commercials because that's what it's been like for years. People have been hiding that they like other people outside their race. Now they to the point where they don't give a damn. Same thing goes to the homosexual community, the gay and lesbian community. That's out in the open now. Back in the day, they used to have to hide how they felt. They used to have to hide, have these little places where they would meet and do what they do. I'm pretty sure they still got that kind of stuff going on, but people they want you to be out proud and loud about your status. That's the way it is today. It's driving people who don't like that shit insane. So much so that they carrying and kenning their ass off out there, telling people, you don't belong here. What are you doing here? You're gonna get hurt. Just like anything else, when people was hiding how they felt about the opposite sex versus, not the opposite sex, but the same sex, and also the fact that a white woman want to be with a black man and couldn't. Now she like, fuck that. I'm with him. Not only that, I had kids with him and we got family. Fuck what y'all talking about. People gonna get tired of you coming up to them asking where they going. Who are they? Do you live here? And you gonna start getting your ass Hill Street bluesed. Telling you, they gonna start whooping on you. You better chill out. It's starting to turn into that way. And I said to my cousin, if my homeboy remember, I said this 3-4 years ago, even before the pandemic, I said a race thing is going to happen. Not because black people want it. If you notice, we done took, like I said, blacks done took many and many ass whoopings in this country. All kind, and still get up off the ground, dust themselves off, and we'll smile at you and be like, all right, and still keep on pushing. But there's gonna be a time when that shit's gonna be old. Ain't nobody gonna, look, we make up 17% of this whole country. That ain't a lot of people. And guess what? They have jailed all of our real killers. And I ain't saying the guys that's in jail is all killers. I'm saying that most of the toughest whoop ass and take names blacks is locked up, and they doing that for a reason. They're locking up black guys for the bullshit. There's niggas in there on death row deserve to be there. Let's keep it a band. You shouldn't have killed 54 niggas, or you shouldn't have shot up that house, or you shouldn't have, there's certain motherfuckers need to be in jail. Like, I hate that my brothers and sisters is in there, but they took a lot of our brothers and sisters that ain't violent like that, is violent, but not violent in the sense of doing some shit like that, and put them in jail too to water down the numbers outside of prison. And it's a bunch of different things, the reason why they do that. Plus, prison now is the new slavery. When the last time you remember motherfucking prisons being Fortune 500 companies? So there's companies that own prisons that are on the Forbes list. Legal fucking slavery, paying a nigga a dime a day to work on the fucking highways and all kind of shit in different states. Some states don't even have like a Caltrans or a well, I'm sure they have public works and they do, but they use a lot of slave labor out there on the roads in certain cities down south. You know that. This is America, kid. The thing I need people to realize is when I come on here, especially when I'm by myself, yeah, the rodeo on me. Hell, if you remember Stir Crazy with Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder, and this was back in the late, and that was directed by Sidney Poitier, the great Sidney Poitier, rest in peace, was the actor. He was the director of that movie. And if you notice, it was about prison, and they was at a rodeo. So, like Slim, you mentioning something that's real true. That's the world we live in, man. They don't want us to live. Never have, never will. Stop the presses. Wow, I know it's probably a lot of people out there that don't believe that, but it's true. Now let's talk about Kanye West. Kanye, man, what the fuck are you doing? You went on the worst show you could go on, man. InfoWars. You wear a black mask over your face, man. While Nick Fuentes is on the other side, just laughing at you. They're making a mockery of you, man. They're making you look like a complete fucking idiot. You were so talented, my bro. Songwriter, beat maker. You just like Einstein. He was crazy too. Came up with the theory of relativity. E equals MC squared. One of the smartest people on the fucking planet. I would have to say, bro, you're one of the smartest people on the planet too, musically, clothing, art, the whole nine. But you're too smart for your own goddamn good. You don't know who your friends are. You don't even know who your enemies are. You just out there just talking and need to take your pills. You need to get rid of the yes men, bro. You need to get rid of the people that will say yes to everything you think of. You need somebody like me to come up to you and give you the biggest fucking slap in your face and tell you to snap out of it. You're making me start to think of all of these bullshit theories about MK Ultra and clones and all that, because it don't make no sense how you would go from one spectrum to the other. And understanding how much somebody passing away like your mom, who was your best friend, I could see it, could be such a traumatic thing for you. I think most people would get over that and get through that and understand she's in a better place and try to use the tools that she gave you psychologically, emotionally, and mentally and morally to continue on without, I know you hear her voice in your head when you're doing certain shit things, I know you do, but you just go ahead and cancel it out. Your biggest mistake was fucking with that girl. Kim Kardashian was the worst fucking choice you could ever made. She was already ran through, bro. I couldn't be with a chick Chris Humphries didn't fuck with. That nigga looked like fucking Frankenstein. He ain't even in the league no more. If you can't see that that woman wants black DNA and got black children and just want their money and status, you was a fool. It's one thing to be her friend and then to fall in love with her and try to marry her and wife her. You can't turn no hoe into no housewife. It's fucking possible. Shout out Corey Holcomb in 5150 show. I watched the episode where he talked about Amber Rose and some shit that she had said where she was, how come I can't find me a handsome guy with money that's freaky in bed, not an abuser, not a narcissist, can love on me and give me everything I want. Bitch, are you insane? I met your baby daddy, Wiz Khalifa, on a video shoot, Ty Dolla $ign video shoot. I worked as a PA on it. The fucking director, Gabriel Hart, who was a hoe ass nigga from Atlanta. You owe me money, nigga. You owe me $100, and I'm gonna get it out your ass one day. Pause on getting it out your ass, but I'm gonna get my money. When I met Wiz, biggest piece of shit, dirtbag fuck I ever met. That nigga acted like, look, bro, you a rapper, you got money and everything. When you walk by a nigga and he say, oh, what's up, dog? You know, damn. And you just look at him and shit, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't speak to peasants. Nigga, fuck you. Never listen to that nigga. This nigga actually said on a song one time, Builder Bear, or some bullshit he said. He can't fucking rap. Never no flows. And that's how you act? You representing Pittsburgh real fucked up. So you making me think that everybody in Pittsburgh is a bitch ass nigga like you. Ty Dolla $ign on the other hand, cool as hell. Hey, how you doing, man? All right? Cool as fuck. This world is wild, man. They got us thinking all kind of weird ass shit. Just because you got money, you ain't safe. You not safe. I made a move from South Central LA, which I lived at I've lived in South Central all my fucking life. Let's keep it a bad. But I was recently living in a area in South Central LA, Crenshaw District, for 13 years. And cool neighbors over there, but majority of motherfuckers over there were smokers. You know what I mean? There was a gang over there. I ain't gonna mention their name. I ain't trying to put nobody on blast or nothing. But I knew some of the guys from that particular set where I used to stay. Some of them was cool as fuck, some of them little dumbasses. But what I'm trying to get at is I had to get the fuck out of there because I'm so tired of seeing my people prey upon each other. I'm tired of seeing my people give up and throw their hands up and live in an alley. And we talking about people who get money every month. When I found out a lot about these niggas getting Social Security, all kind of shit, but they rather not pay bills and have somewhere to stay and stay in an alley somewhere and do crack. We have such a defeatist attitude here because it gets to a point where you see the world in a prism where you feel like you ain't gonna win no matter what the fuck you do, so you just give up. Nah, I can't be around that kind of shit. I had to move. I had to go somewhere where I felt at least safe and it's quiet. Come to find out, there's a lot of shit be going on around here, nice as it is. If you ain't got the Citizen app, go get that shit, put in your goddamn information and your zip code and watch all the bullshit that be going on around you that you didn't know about. So, it ain't too many places you can go in California where you safe. All you gotta do is pray to God and kiss your ass goodbye. And just, whenever you leave the house, either you got your strap or your knife and you hope you ain't never got to use it and you just keep on pushing because you never know what the fuck might happen. I don't give a shit what corner of this fucking country you live in. There's a chance your ass could be up out of here on some bullshit. And just like the homie said, it take 10 seconds for a nigga to lose 30 years. You out there tripping and cutting in front of somebody, whatever, and a road rage incident happened. Next thing you know, you sock 2-3 niggas. Or you sock that nigga, knock him out, he hit his head, next thing you know, you in prison. That shit happened in 2 minutes. Now your ass in the jail for a dub and a half, 3 years, 25 years, 30 years, whatever it is, over something that happened 10 to 15 seconds to 2 minutes. You ain't safe, you can't run. What you can do is you gotta look up in the sky and ask him to watch over you every time you get up out of here. Hey, ask him to watch over you when you're at the house. The whole shit, man. This world suck. It could be better. My neighbor just came home a minute ago. Cool brother. He put up, see, I like him for a lot of reasons. One, He's trying to live a regular life. I don't, yeah, to be honest with you, I don't know what Robert nationality is. I think he's Caucasian. I'm not sure, but the fact of the matter, I mean, he was leaving out of here one day with his new girlfriend, and he was getting in his truck. He's like, "Yeah, going to get my Christmas tree, man." I'm like, "Damn, dude, just be living, bro. He don't give a damn. He gonna have his Christmas tree. He gonna go eat with his girl and all that. He's living his life, regardless of what the fuck is going on in this world. I give him that. I think too much about what's going on. I think too much about my finances. I'm sure he does too, but he don't let that shit bog him down. He be out chilling. He got a car, a Harley, and a big ass, beautiful fucking truck. You know what I'm saying? He gets in that and he gets with his lady. They go eat whatever they do. They be up out of here. So you gotta respect that. That man is oblivious to the shit that's going on in the world. I'm sure he know about it, but he ain't gonna let that stop him from living his life. I give him that props. I think we as black people need to take that same approach. Yeah, you got to know what's going on in the world for sure. Don't even trip. Yeah, you better know. And you better understand what's going on. But don't let that shit bog you down to where you ain't ready to be the person you need to be for your family and yourself. If you're on an individual sitio, you know what it is. Do what you got to do. Ain't no president, ain't no senator, ain't no congressman, ain't no mayor, ain't no nothing gonna save you. You gonna save you. I'm gonna keep saying that to the day I leave here. Ain't nobody gonna take you to the doctor to check on your health. Ain't nobody gonna get you in the gym to do your exercises other than you. Yeah, you can have a trainer, but guess what? Say you go pay for a trainer, you go do one session, then they don't go no more because you're a lazy fuck. The trainer gonna be like, I'm gonna just go to the next motherfucker. He already paid me, so I ain't tripping. Get your ass up and go to that trainer if you can afford to get one. All it's gonna do is make life better for you. Can't get no worse. It's a sad state of affairs when we living in a world for us, meaning African Americans, blacks, are descendants of the continent of Africa. And we have to feel like we're persecuted at every sense of the word. We go on our jobs. All the other races try to plot to see us fail while we on that said job. When we driving our cars or walking around in stores, getting accused of, you look like you stealing. All the people that ever steal look like you. It's hard, man. It's funny because I go in the store and I'm a 6'5", 300-pound man with a big ass salt and pepper beard, come in there looking kind of halfway decent most of the time, if not better, and still get looked at. Don't happen to me often because, at this point I think people see me and they be like, "Oh, it's an older black guy. Okay, hey." And they always speak and say hello and all that. So I'm pretty cordial type dude. But a lot of places you'll go, you're getting scrutinized and looked at and pondered and checked out and everything. I'm telling you, they don't trust us. I don't know if it's much more they don't trust us or they don't like us, so they feel like they got to do whatever they got to do to make our day difficult. That's the state of affairs of a black person. Aside from the fact that they also, and this what really kills me, the medical community, obviously not black doctors, but every other doctor seem to feel like blacks have a different physiology than other humans. There's actually been doctors who've gone to medical school for 18 years to get their medical license say black people have a different pain tolerance than whites. What? If you black and you've been to the doctor, you'll tell the doctor, say, I know there's some black people who can attest to this, who gonna see this pod, and if you do have had that situation, or if you have had that situation happen to you, I want you to leave a comment when you see this podcast. I know you've been to the doctor and told them, "Oh, this hurts right here," or "When I cough, such and such." Oh, that's you just, that's nothing. They don't even want to give you no medication for it or anything because they feel like you black, something you different. They actually believe that. They've actually been to school and know the science about DNA and genetics and all that, and they still sitting up here thinking we different as a species of people. Now, either they know something we don't know about us being a little more superhuman than regular folk, or they just don't want to help us. I think it's the latter. I think that they know our physiology is a little way more advanced than people give us credit for. So therefore, they don't want to help us, or they just might not just want to help us and see us pass away from whatever ailments that come up. If that's the case, it's actually terrible. But what ain't terrible you ain't seen in the last 20, 30 years? No matter how long you've been on this planet, you've seen something, you go, what the hell? For real? There was a doctor on YouTube. He's a doctor, but more of a scientist. And he put the whole United States, the FDA, and all these different entities on blast of how only in the black communities they send the type of food that can cause liver disease, cancer, hypertension, strokes, heart attacks. They only send that food to the areas where most black, that's why they do redlining. That's why they do these things like redlining and zoning and making this area low income. And then they pour all the bullshit in that area. I believe the stories of mysterious boxes of guns being dropped in the middle of Chicago neighborhoods. One day they wake up in the morning, there's these crates and they got guns with ammo just sitting there. Who the fuck does that other than the government? They want you to kill yourself. Go back to Boys in the Hood when Furious was talking to I know the names of the characters, but he was talking to them. He said, "Look, man, they want you to kill yourself. Why you think there's a liquor store and all these old fast food restaurants that you ain't gonna find pickup sticks and with the Chinese food? There's a pickup stick right here by me where I live, but I'm in a white neighborhood. You can fuck around and hardly find a Panda Express in a black neighborhood. You got to go to the fucking mall just to get that shit. And that stuff ain't even no fucking good for you. Who's to say they're not sending the worst types of food at that Panda Express for the brothers and sisters? It's a McDonald's on every fucking corner in the black neighborhood because they know that shit ain't real food. Burger King too. You can hardly find a Burger King out here in the valley. You can't hardly find that motherfucker. A friend of mine was just over here the other day and she was like, they got a lot of food places out here. All kind of vegan shit and these restaurant rib junk. I mean, real good food, real food. Real shit you ingest and take a good dump with type shit. Go right through you. And the minerals and whatever vitamins that shit possess go right in you. You ain't finna find that shit in no black neighborhood. You gonna find a fucking Taco Bell with a flat ass motherfucking pasty ass tacos with that bullshit. You gonna find bullshit. Same thing with the grocery stores. You can't escape this shit. You go to black neighborhood and go to the grocery stores, that food in there is hideous. The vegetables in there, riboflavin and all that coloring on the vegetables and make it look like it's all juicy and great. The meat just be bloody as hell. And I feel bad that I'm a carnivore. I eat a lot of fucking beef. And I had two people. One of them, closest friend to me, Slim, has a little situation where I needed to get these lights. There were some lights that I had got from a great source. God, thank you and bless me with that. And then a situation where the lights got hung up somewhere and I needed them. And then, I'm the type of person, I can't stand driving nowhere and having to deal with traffic. I had to meet him somewhere in LA and And by the end of the meeting and me picking up the stuff, he's like, man, you just be angry. No, I'm not an angry nigga. I hate bullshit. I hate having to even come out here to get this shit. It should never fucking happen. And then I was working with this fucking I ain't gonna say his name because I ain't trying to put nobody on blast. Whatever he trying to do with that bullshit he was doing, that little show, which I was playing a part in, it was gonna be some kind of web, what do they call it, web drama or whatever. I think he was either gonna try to get it on. Okay, I don't know what the fuck he's gonna try to do, but he's shooting it guerrilla style, meaning there's no permits. He was just calling motherfuckers up to show up to a location. We gonna shoot some scenes, no script. It was all ad lib, which is all fine and dandy. But the nigga was a fucking asshole. Talk to people like he ain't got no fucking sense. About to get his ass whooped. And I told him very much that he gonna have me want to meet him up at the Taste of Soul when it was raining and shoot these scenes. Motherfucker ain't tell me where to meet him specifically, nothing. Anyway, before I get pissed off and get into that story, you got a-holes like him out here trying to do things, but don't know how to talk to no goddamn body. This nigga gonna tell me, you need to stop eating red meat, man. You be mad all the time. Fuck you, niggas. Don't use none of that bullshit as an excuse to try to say I'm tripping. You tripping. You ain't about your fucking business. I'm about time. I ain't got time to be wasting. You got some niggas that come do shit for no money. No money. Give up time and then just pop up and text me. Can you meet me on Saturday? What if I'd have said no, nigga? You just assuming a nigga ain't doing nothing. It's your weird ass. Good luck to you on that stupid ass show. And anybody that will give up their time to fuck with you. You be talking to them white boys one way and talking to the nigga actors another way with your bitch ass. Yeah, I said it. And I'm sure you're gonna see this shit. If you don't, I don't give a fuck, nigga. I'll line any of you motherfuckers up. It's done. But I'm not playing with motherfuckers. If I ask you to come do something, that shit gonna be done. Your money gonna be there. You're gonna be able to chill. You're gonna be able to do the shit. You're gonna be able to leave and say that experience was cool as fuck. I ain't got time to play games with nobody's fucking time. We need to understand that we need to do each other justice and not injustice to each other. Trying to make a fucking buck. The fucking country got us thinking like that. Like we some fucking weirdos. You feel me? That's how I feel about it. I don't give a shit how you feel. That's how I feel. On top of it, nigga. OMD-DEX300, aka Doc Savage, the man of motherfucking bronze. That's right. And this is my show, Corner Store Podcast. A little angry at the end of the show. It's not over, but it's almost over. And I kind of got a little steam right there. I want to apologize, but hey, the shit that I see and the stuff that people do just fucking makes me just worried about humanity, man. Especially how many black people be tripping. We should be loving on each other. They got us hating each other for nothing. Can't work with nobody. Everybody looking for a goddamn dollar. Can't work with nobody. I'm wrong though. It is what it is. So a lot of things that happen to you, all it does is lead you to realize you have to stand on your own 2 feet, have your own shit popping and everything. Let me see what she say. Yeah, that shit do get on my damn nerves. On the real. But you know what, y'all? God, this probably gonna be the end of the pod right now. I had to do a show on Friday because I said I was gonna do one, and I appreciate anybody that's gonna watch this episode because I'm a huge supporter of all the rest of the pods that I've been on, all the other podcasts, even ones people I never meet. Corey Holcomb, Drink Champs, Corey Holcomb 5150, Drink Champs with Noriega, Aries Spears and Steinberg on that podcast, even Joe Budden, Wallow and Gilly the Kid, $1 million worth of game, all of y'all. Even T.I. Expeditiously Pod, you guys are an inspiration to me, and I hope to be a third as accessible as you guys have been 100%. I appreciate you guys giving me the Tony Television, Tony TV. I gotta give you your props too, even though we had our little tay-to-tay and we pretty much, it's pretty much forced me to make some changes as well. And I'm like, you've moved and got a whole new studio and the whole thing. And I've been watching your show and your pod and what you've been talking about. Much respect to you. Much respect to anybody that I've worked with in the past and giving me an opportunity to have my shit popping. And all of my people who will be on my live, like Slim, I'm gonna meet you one day and get the biggest hug from you. And hopefully I have a bouquet of roses if I know you're coming. I'll make sure that, I got some flowers for you and maybe even give you a bottle or two because you've been nothing but amazing. You always tune in. I couldn't be more happy to have you as a person who enjoys, or I hope, excuse me. I had this fucking soda. This shit is fucking me up. I appreciate you and love you very much. And thank you so much for always tuning in. And in New York, if you would, tell everybody about my podcast. Tell everybody to comment. Promotional money will be going up to start to raise up some of my fandom and subscriptions. So look for those numbers to start to change. But I appreciate the people who have been here and have been responding to it. And I love y'all very much. And thank y'all for being just wonderful, wonderful people. And also look for if you're in California, look for the fact that there might be some money coming to you through this reparation program from Governor Gavin Newsom. It's going to be well over 200 grand. I hope this passes. I hope every resident gets that. If you do end up getting that money, don't fucking blow it. Don't blow it. Don't blow it. If you want to go crazy and spend a lot of it and go on a trip or whatever, take 75,000, 80,000, 100,000, put that shit away. Just put it away before you do anything. And I want to thank everybody for joining me. This has been KSP, Corner Store Podcast. As you can see, my set is getting a little better as we go. Starting to do a lot of little things with it. And I appreciate y'all. One love. It's your boy, OMD-DEX300, coming out of San Fernando Valley, California. Holla at y'all. Have a good one. Peace.